Hello, Forza fans! Here are the 19 brave men and women ready to take their awesome Formula One machines out on track to see who will come out victorious here at the marvelous Catalunya Circuit near Barcelona in Spain. Here's the pole position driver in a 1967 Honda in the Japanese colours. Also in a rather striking bright orange Honda down in 7th place we have Hot Circuit. But first, away to Laguna Seca, California for the first of our 4 races.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what came over me there. It's Formula 60s week on Forza Featured Multiplayer, and here I am getting a great start from 4th on the grid, straight up into 3rd. Looks like it's going to be quite a good run down to the first turn, but we do get overtaken by somebody who got an even better start by the looks of things, so we're back into 4th again. Go a bit wide, get dinked out there by another driver on the inside, Red Dragon, and we're down into 5th. I get another bash from behind, but luckily it doesn't result in anything. So we are all get a bit out of shape and lose yet another position. So we are down to 6th already on lap 1. Seems to be pretty much a theme of my driving, to be honest, where I get a pretty decent grid position, then slide all the way down and have to fight my way back during a race. Well, anyway, we started in 4th, so we've only effectively lost 2 positions, despite the driver going slowly on the grid. Here's the first lap in its entirety. You've got to be quite careful not to overrun this section. It's tricky at the best of times, but in these cars it can be pretty slippery, and if you go out wide, you just lose all momentum on the sand. Down to the fearsome corkscrew, then I just get on the brakes to make sure I don't slam into the side of Nana Jr. in front. And then as we come towards the end of the lap, quite a bit of sliding going on there. You can see him fighting his wheel. I'm driving a little bit smoother, so I'm hoping that tyre wear is not going to be as much of an issue. But in a 10-lap race here, we are definitely going to have to pit. Make no mistake about that. So we come to the end of the first lap. I just collide with the back of them, but that was such a low-speed collision, but they don't seem to have any momentum coming out of the final turn. So I get that position back and go into 5th by the end of the first lap, but we're already 2.4 seconds behind Game of Drones in 4th place, so we've got to try and fight back. Somebody gets deep there, it's Red Dragon, but I'm still about 2 seconds behind despite that because they get a good run off. And then towards the end of lap 4, we've closed the gap quite a bit. We're down to about a second now. Game of Drones gets on the dirt. I go for the inside line here, but think better of it at the last minute just as well, because we certainly would have been cut off. That would have ended in tears, I'm pretty certain, as we enter lap 5. Red Dragon going a bit wide there in 3rd place, but we all get round there okay. It's now time to cut forward a little bit further in the lap. Game of Drones just goes wide. Again, people are starting to fight their cars by the looks of things and get out wide and slide and all sorts. And then I get pushed out here. Just about avoid going onto the, well, I want to say gravel, onto the sand at the side of the track. And I've got it all to do again, back down in 5th place. So we're getting to the point of pit stops now. My tyres are getting pretty low, but I haven't gone orange yet, so I'm thinking there's a bit of life, but other people do seem to be struggling quite a bit. Look how much sliding around there is going on here. I go for my opportunity around Game of Drones again, and we make it stick this time. Close off any kind of lunge they can make down the inside there as well. So now I'm hunting down 3rd place. That is soon to become a fight for 1st and 2nd, because the top drivers, you can see the time gap tumbling here. They have gone into the pits already, bang on the halfway point, but I think I can get one more lap out of these tyres. As you can see, they're still white in the bottom right hand corner of the screen there. So this is indeed the battle for 1st as we go into the first corner. Red Dragon again slipping around all over the place, so I feel like I've managed to look after my tyres a little bit better than some of the other drivers. They go out wide there, and I will take that. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at my pit stop. I have got a 6 or 7 second lead rather now by the end of that lap. And as we come out the pits, don't worry, that wasn't me illegally joining. That's where it guides you to go. So you don't go down the normal pit route into the first corner. You actually cut across the green. And I come out in 3rd place, 0.8 seconds ahead of Game of Drones. So I have gained massively from slipping down to 6th at one stage in this race. I go 3rd, and indeed that's where I finish. There was nothing else of note happening in that race. We just brought it home exactly where we were before. So And then well done to the guys in first and second. I just wasn't touching them today at all. Now we're going to go on to our second race, which is at Catalunya. It is the shortened version of the Barcelona track, so it's 13 laps. As we go down to I was starting in 7th, and as we go down to the first corner, I'm sort of ease up a little bit because I think something's going to happen. We can hear a bit of bashing happening around us, see guys tussling for position. I just stick it down the inside, keep it clean. But it looks like we're down to 8th, regardless of the fact that we had a pretty decent start and we kept it clean. So once again, not another great first lap from me, to be honest. It seems to be a running theme. I think I'm maybe being too cautious, but that's probably better in the long run. So we're keeping out of trouble. Testarossa has a little bit of an off, I think, and then comes in front of us just before the braking zone, so I decide better of it and go out a little wide. There's a Union Jack car there on the outside of me, but I stay on the inside. Look, they don't turn in on me. It's all been very clean and gentlemanly, to be honest, in this 1960s Formula One racing. So long may it continue. And then that's pretty much the end of the first lap. We are in 8th. Then down in the first corner, you see Hemesto and Red Viper getting together. So I stick it down the inside. But again, really, really clean racing from Hemesto, who actually manages to stick with the position. They're fighting their car a little bit there, but they managed to stick with it. So fair play, racing me very fairly and also keeping their position around the outside of me originally. Then they're down with Red Viper again. But that's not going to come of anything. There's not going to be any more bashing wheels, but they are scrapping quite hard again, and I think maybe I can get it down the inside here to take 7th. No chance. Hemesto cuts me off, but it's all fair. Wasn't really my corner. I was going to have to be careful, and I'm glad I didn't go too committed into there. Then into the first corner on the third lap, they do get together a little bit again, so I get ahead of Red Viper briefly just on my left, so I just make sure to give some room on the inside, but we have indeed made it stick. So we're into 7th place, which is our starting position. On lap 5, everybody's bunched up a bit. Hemesto gets out wide, and I end up actually taking that position here this time. So I'm hunting down Testarossa 7189. Benin Jam, nice name there, goes wide at the first corner but manages to get back in front of me nicely. No contact and nothing too unfair there, really. I think everything's been kept fair in this race, and it's a really, really enjoyable one to be racing this close. It looks like, again, a couple of people's tyres are going off because we're almost at the halfway stage of the race now. Look at that. Ben gets it all wrong on the exit. I sort of turn my pants another shade of colour as I see him rejoining across the grass there, but I actually go to the outside and make it work. So I'm up into what was, I believe, 6th or 5th, but now some people are taking their pit stops. Testarossa is struggling with their tyres absolutely horribly. So once again, with other people taking their pit stops, I'm up to first, and this time it's a 9-second advantage. As I come out the pits, I come out in 4th place. So that's still pretty good. I think we were 5th before the other people were going for their pit stops, and then up into 1st during, and then up into 4th after. And then we fast forward to the end of the race because we'd stuck with 4th position. But some other guys, I think, had not pitted and are really, really struggling at the end here. I just have to avoid them sliding around. Look at that. They go deep into the corner. So Flint desperately trying to hang on to his or her 3rd place, but I make it work. But I also see that Jada in front is also horribly slow, and the time is absolutely tumbling. It's just come down from like 3 seconds to 1.5. I hope to get a great run off the final turn and maybe get a good run down to the line to get 2nd place, but it doesn't quite work. Even with their penalty, I'm not close enough, and we take 3rd position. But that was very, very nice. Another podium. So 2 races, 2 podiums. Excellent stuff. Well done to Jada, who just about held it together in 2nd, and Manuel Favo there in 1st, who came out in front of me in the pit stops. Here we go then. It's time for a race at Road America now. ATK Mango out-qualified me, but I qualified in second. And you're about to see a lesson in pretty much how to not do a first lap again. You're going to see a lot of them watching me, I think, because I just don't seem to ever have the same sort of pace or consistency on a first lap that I manage in qualifying all the rest of the race. It's really strange. So a lot of people do tend to get the better of me on first laps here in Forza. I didn't feel like I could have driven much better around those first corners, and I'm already down to fourth as we enter this section. I get hit from behind, but get on the brakes so that I don't clatter into Dr. Chaz in front of me. We keep it clean. They go wide, but then watch this. I think, great, I've got my position back in third, but just get out of shape again. Dr. Chaz and also Wubba Ducky get past me. So I'm down into fifth already here on the first lap. But then Wubba Ducky gets a massive slide. I dink the back of their car as they correct it, but it's all fair and they don't get out of shape or get knocked off the track. So I think we'll let that one go. But you're about to see they're going to have an incident here with Dr. Chaz, who goes a little bit wider on the corner and then slides back into Wubba Ducky's path. And I just say thank you very much and take that outside line, which will now become the inside line for the penultimate corner. I get a bash in the side. I take it they turned into me, but no harm done, no penalty. And then we go into the final turn. Keep it clean. Nobody into the back of me. We're back up into third. So now it's time to hunt down Phipps Marquez in second place, which we do in lap 3. Here we come down towards the end of the lap again. They get a bit deep and I just keep the car tucked in and manage to keep the advantage once again for the penultimate corner here. So they slot in behind me and we go round there fair and square. Then as we come into the pit stops, I'm back into second. ATK Mango 6 seconds up the road. And as we come out, the same gaps have been kept, but I was a little bit more comfortably in second place than I thought I was going to be. So as we go around the first corner, that's pretty much the way it is going to stay. We keep pretty much that entire advantage. I think Niello NSX gets a little closer look, but as we go over the line, I've lost a few seconds to ATK Mango, who wins the race comfortably by 10 seconds, and I'm 5 seconds ahead of Niello. Is it Niello? Yeah, Niello or Niello NSX in third place. So a second. So we've had 2/3 and a second so far, and we're going to go on to do one more race today. Why not, eh? This was a really fun combination. So we are now at Mugello, beautiful scenery, and it is time to get going. Roscoe Pico is in first place, but we were out qualified by about 4/10 or something like that. So I thought maybe with this great start, I could get a possible win. I thought maybe we were close and I could give it a good run. But actually, I go a little deep into the first corner. Also want to leave some space on the inside for the other drivers so that we don't have any nasty contact. Roscoe comes out on top, and I managed to just about hold second place. You can see the arrows going crazy behind me because there's some drivers harrying me for position, but it doesn't really come under serious threat. I go a little deep at this next corner, so I was starting to worry that somebody was going to get the better of me, but I just kept it pinned because I know I've got the inside for this corner, and it looks like we're going to settle into the race. We go down to the pit stops then, and as we leave the pits, we are 7 seconds behind Roscoe, so we were just completely outclassed. But watch this, the car drifts out into Gatto there. I can only apologise, but the computer had control, and then when it sort of kicked my force feedback back into action, I was drifting left across the track. I just didn't appreciate how close they were, but they still got the better of me into turn 1, but they went a little wide then, didn't get such a good run out, so I regained second position. Now, you'll be able to see the arrow is pretty close here for the next few corners. So I was pretty much having to defend quite hard, like not too aggressively, but I was just trying to make sure to keep my line and not drift out wide or make any silly mistakes. They kept it fair, which is nice considering that I was a little bit unfair, inadvertently unfair, mind you, coming out of the pits there by bashing into the side of them. But all is fair in love and war, and we managed to hold it together and take home a second place. Roscoe was in another league, finishing 13 seconds ahead of me, so I was probably pretty foolish thinking after qualifying that I might have a chance there. But yet another second place. So we've got 4 podiums out of 4 races, 2 third places and 2 second places. I'll take that, but I was outclassed by all of the winning drivers today. I don't think I had a real good shot at any victories, so fair play to everybody. But they were pretty clean races overall, and it was nice to come back from some lower positions into some podiums with some good strategy calls, which is excellent. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm now safety rated A, but I've got a skill rating of 4928 out of 5,000. Very nice, and I'll see you next time.